Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Radium and today I have another Terraria Calamity mod video for all of you, in which today I'm going to be doing a brief guide on how I can help some of you defeat the final boss in all of the Calamity mod, Supreme Calamitas. This is an incredibly difficult fight and one that took me many tries, but overall I just found some tips and tricks along the way that I continue to pick up and utilise in my other playthroughs, and the fight continually just became more and more easy over time. So I just wanted to compile some of my tips for you guys to witness, just because they really helped me get through. And I feel like most of the players who play this really get overwhelmed by the boss before it starts. So right now I'll be showing you armor, weapon, accessory recommendations, and all of this I find to be the best in terms of the stuff you're supposed to be using here. All of this gear is Auric tier, as far as I recall, save the accessories, but all of these items are valid. Feel free to experiment with class-specific accessories as they can really boost your damage, but there's really not too much to the preparation of this fight. It's a lot more simple than bosses in my opinion, than Yaren for example would be. But with that said, let's head into the actual battle. For a start, the Death Mode arena is significantly smaller, as in the enclosed square you're given for this fight, than all the other modes. Revengeance and Expert are pretty significant in terms of the space you're given to dodge attacks, but this one is so much smaller, which makes the game so much harder as the projectiles hit like absolute trucks in most cases. So dodging the attacks is mandatory, even though it is incredibly difficult. My recommendation for the first phase would be going as slow as possible and trying not to utilise the wing's maximum speed, because I've recommended Celestial Traces as a mandatory item. Although they're not technically, as I've done this boss in Defiled before, I would still heavily vie towards using them. But slowly tap your spacebar whilst going up and just fall gently, maybe tapping the spacebar occasionally as well. Just because you don't want to be using up all your space as the boss when he's doing some of his attacks to get you in really annoying situations. What most people struggle with are these weird sections in between the battle where there are tons of projectiles, the boss is impervious to damage for the time being, and these projectiles just spam across your screen, shooting like various projectiles towards you in different ways. And although they're short phases that have a time limit unlike most of the fight, they can very much destroy you and get rid of all of your Auric Tesla armor set bonuses before you can really use them to good. Now, at this stage, I'd just be spamming the boss, trying to stay on one side of the arena, as unless he's doing the 75% HP phase where he just spams with nullification for damage, you shouldn't really be struggling all that much. However, once the boss gets to half health, the fight does start to ramp up a little bit, but it also gives you some breaks so you can replenish your health, set bonuses, etc. Throughout this battle, the boss will continue to summon various different minions to help him, but one of the more interesting phases is the Twins phase. This is Cataclysm and Catastrophe, which are significantly super buffed versions of the ones you fought in the original Calamitas fight much earlier on in the game. They're not that difficult to deal with, and in my opinion the best way of taking them is going incredibly slow, as the projectiles will stack up no matter how fast you're moving, and going slow will just allow you to digest the attack so much easier. Focusing Cataclysm straight away is the best way of doing it, because it's the one that homing projectiles like the Ark of the Cosmos automatically go to. So you'll just want to do that, and taking one out will increase the fire rate of the orb spam, but it's nothing too significant, and dodging from one way is always easier than dodging from both. At 40% however, the boss receives an AI buff, where the dashes become more like frequent, I guess you could call it, and like his attacks become stacked in some scenarios. However, once you hit 30% HP on the boss, you really reach the climax of the fight. The boss will summon these massive red orbs to follow you around permanently, and the best way of avoiding these while simultaneously dodging the boss is going in a circle at the very corners of the arena and surrounding the boss when you can. This is where RNG does come into play, because no matter how good you are at dodging, there is always going to be an RNG element here, as the Soul Seekers he spouts randomly fire. If you're in a bad situation at a bad time, there's not much you can do. But an item that could be very useful here is definitely the Normality Relocator, which serves as a hot keyword of Discord. That could for sure get you out of a pickle in this scenario. But another thing to note is that, I'm sorry, I can't speak. Another thing to note is that you cannot damage the boss whilst the Soul Seekers are active, which can definitely serve as an issue for many players. Anyways, the spam will continue until the boss is at 10%, in which the fight will do its final projectile barrage for you to dodge. This one's a combination of all the projectiles so far, so it can add up incredibly quickly. And this one caused me a great deal of issues here, just because of the sheer amount of projectiles. But the moral of the story is, homing projectiles and items with extreme homing properties are definitely the way to go about this, as the final orbs. The final orb phase is pretty much a DPS rush, basically. And if you can't take them out quick enough, then all the projectiles and all the phases are going to stack up so fast. So once you get the boss down to 8%, please save up your rage and adrenaline if you can, and just absolutely go ham on the blood orbs. Otherwise you will die so incredibly quickly. You'll see here I hit 1 HP and start using my silver armor effects. That's how low I got. So it's not ideal, but I just about clutched this one up. And this is a very good presentation of why this fight is so hard. No one can do this battle first try. You need to dedicate so much time and effort towards it. And afterwards you'll be rewarded with some of the best items Terraria's Calamity mod has to offer. But with that said, I have to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy, then feel free to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. The growth on the channel has been absolutely exponential recently, and I just have to thank all of you for that. So with that said, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.